Welcome back to a very special episode of Roots Talk. Every season, we've had the honor of sitting down with voices who have shaped Meghalaya's story, and today is no different. Our guest today has worn multiple hats: a trained medical professional, a devoted public servant, and now the MLA from Gambe Grey. She is also the First Lady of Meghalaya, wife of the Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Conrad K. Sangma. Since stepping foot into politics in 2024, she has become a steady voice for infrastructure, development, and healthcare within her constituency. And today we hope to hear her story from the world of medicine to the floor of the Assembly. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dr. Mehtab Chandee A. Sangma right here on Roots Talk. Dr. Sangma, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Aaron.
First of all, how would you describe yourself, beyond politics, beyond your profession, beyond family name? How would you introduce yourself in your own words?
Oh, not with my name and my profession. I think the definition of myself back when I was 20 and how I am now, I think it would be different. In my 20s, I'd rather say that I would have been more blunt or easygoing and very naive. But I think now, much more level-headed, practical, and more thoughtful. I think that's how I would think of myself.
Oh, that's nice. So that means there is a shift from when you were 20 and then now to a way more stable, like you said, on track kind of a person, if that's what you want to define yourself?
I think that's how it would be for everybody. Mm-hmm. I think back when you were young and when you're matured yourself, I think over the years, if you can learn something about yourself and then make the, come out in a better way, I think then you're on the right track.
Correct. So when did you realize that switch? Because, at one point in time, we're all human beings. And like you said, when we were younger, very naive, decisions that we take would be decisions at the drop of a hat. But, as you mature, things that we do would be very different. When did you realize that transition happened to you?
I think for me, personally, I got married at a slightly younger age, right after my graduation, after coming back from medical school.
Right.
And I think those days I'd seen much less of the world and was very idealistic in my thinking. But now with what the kind of husband I have and the work that he is in, it has given me a very different perspective on life and where I would have been. So I think it has shaped a lot in me.
Correct.
Yeah.
So when we look at all these roles and the hats that you're wearing, doctor, the MLA, mother, at the moment of all these three things, or probably more, what do you identify yourself mostly with?
I would still say that I'm still, more dedicated wife and a mother, because that what was my not primary, I would say, but I don't want to make it sound very stereotypical and say that that's what most women do, because that's what we do. But given given the circumstances that my husband is in, very active politics and now occupying the topmost position in the state, so he comes. He is very busy. So given that perspective, I think we decided that I would take care of the household and obviously the children, and we had a lot of family, big circle. So it was natural for me to compromise a bit and then, do this. Mm-hmm. So I would say that I still relate to myself, my individuality, but I don't, even in spite of being a doctor, I don't get to practice. That is because of his busy schedule and the kind of life that we have with us. But at the same time, I have my own space and my own identity, I feel.
Oh, I like that because you identify yourself more of, as a mother and then a wife. Where did that come from? I mean, talk to us a little bit about your mom. Does that run in the family as well?
Of course, I think every mother today is doing that role of shaping the children, of looking after the household. They are at best doing the best managerial skills they can at home without needing to learn it. And for me, I have seen that in my family because I lost my mother at a very young age.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But my sister was there. She was the eldest in the family. And we are like six brothers and two girls. So she being the eldest, when my mother passed away, so she literally took care of the entire family. So I think I have seen that at a very young age, and then for me to play the similar role as her has always been important.
Right, so she's always been that inspiration for
Yeah.
you. So, Dr. Sangma, 6 boys and 2 girls in the family. How's the
Yeah.
dynamic in the family? Tell
don't
us a
tell
little bit.
me, you're a
We've
boy
got
yourself.
a big family ourselves. We're like 4 boys and a sister. So
Yeah.
so she's the only daughter in the family. I want to hear from you.
I think you would get to know it yourself, being with a lot of boys around. So it was like how typical boys are, and me and my sister would always end up doing the household chores for them, like cleaning their room, cleaning the dishes for them. So it was like that for us. But in spite of that, I being the youngest, I got a lot of attention from my brothers, so they were always there for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So you would still do household chores for the boys?
Yes, of course. I think I come from a very normal family, as how you and everybody else is. So I think those days when we were kids, we are not so used to maids, so everything in the
Right.
house was all within us. Yeah.
I mean, even now, we're still not used to maids, by the way, if you ask me and my family. So when I said, 4 boys and a sister, the sister is really spoiled. We're actually doing all the household chores. So it's
Yeah.
like just opposite,
It's-
between your family and my family.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, we still do everything ourselves. We clean, we cook, a lot of things. So my sister would just sit and just, obviously, the
I
last
think
one she
it's
gets
good to do
all the
that.
pampering.
It's good to do that,
Yeah.
really. Yeah, but I think tribal men should be, I think, more, give a more helping hand. And I think if they are more involved in the household, then I think it would do very good. I think that's one of the disadvantage, I would say, of a matrilineal society is.
Correct.
If you look at other patriarchal kind of society, you would see that men are more involved at a very young age. They learn responsibilities at a very young age. And I'm not saying that, our society isn't giving that. But I feel that somehow, somewhere, we need to inculcate those kind of thoughts as well.
Yeah, and it's never too late,
Yeah.
Dr. Sama, But it's good that we're all catching up and we realize that change needs to happen very soon.
Yeah.
Take us back to Tura, a place where you were born and brought up. Some of the fond memories probably that you can recollect and help us dive deeper into your childhood days.
Tura, I'm sure all of you have been there, but back when I was young, I spent all my days there. I was born there and raised up there. I went to schooling there. So it's a very small, quaint kind of a town where everybody knows everybody. And I think that is what is special about it. And I think for us in Meghalaya, we are all community-based society. So a lot of things where we mingle a lot with our neighbors, with our relatives. And, those kind of fond memories I have of all the gatherings that we have as childhood and spending time with the neighbors. I think those have really stuck with me till so far. And there isn't a time when I don't remember it, because that is what my roots are. And I think it has it is one good part of our society. And I think now, if we look at how times are now, everybody is like just involved in their individual lives, not giving so much time to the neighborhood, the locality people there, and what is happening in the neighbor. I think, if we look back, we had that kind of a time, and I think it was quite special.
That's what, when we were younger, we used to do the same thing. We would take our plates and go to our neighbor's house and eat food at their place and come back. Having said that, the community bond was there, and to a certain extent, it's still here as well in the state of Meghalaya. But you're in New Delhi as well, back and forth.
Yeah.
The scenario there is even different. You have all these skyscrapers and apartments, and people don't even talk to each other. So you just go to your own floor and you enter. How do you survive at a space like that when you're just so used to communicating with people? Probably exchange a smile.
That's how actually Delhi is. We hardly get to see the neighbor. I mean, I don't even know who my neighbors are. And obviously, we are in the best part, staying in one of the posh localities of Delhi, in the government bungalows there. So, we have like a big lawn, and we have good facilities in and around us. So, it's a wonderful place. But you actually don't get to see your neighbor. I don't even know my neighbor. I have never even said
Which is very sad,
hi once. Yeah. And, so my children are on their own playing half the time, when I don't have that same kind of childhood like them. If I would remember mine, we were out there on the field, playing around, goofing up with my friends. So, it was all those kind of times. And now my children are always with their toys, or either on the handset or the iPad, watching, the screen. They're fixated on the screen. So it's a very different life for them.
So talk to us, when you bring them back from New Delhi home, it would have been a treat for all of them, right? Maybe
I think Shillong has become different. They are all mobile. They have all mobile phones and smart TVs, so they have the similar access. Right. So but I guess they also connect here very differently, and they get to see more of people here. And we do take them for outings, and especially in Tura, it's all with relatives. So I think they're also seeing that part of life. But of course, it's just a bit.
Yeah. Well, we're still dwelling on your childhood, Doctor. You said you went to school in Tura as well.
Yeah.
What kind of a student were you? Would you consider yourself a bright student, if at all?
I wouldn't say that, but I was sincere. I was dedicated. And I would say that I was okay.
Okay. Yeah. Average.
Yeah, I would say beyond a little average, but yeah, I was okay.
Okay. So what was your favorite subject then in school?
I would say English.
Okay.
And maybe maths to some extent.
English and math. Oh, that's a deadly combination, but yeah.
Yeah, but neither am I good in maths, neither am I good in English.
All right. So,
but it's just that you enjoy the subjects more. I remember studying literature, and it would take you back to so much of thoughts and in-depth thinking, and relating to those kind of moments when you study the poems and the literature. I think it's different.
But did you take English from school to college? And
no,
what did you
after
study?
that I was in science.
Okay.
So I got into medicine, and that's how it is. And of course, medical science, I don't need to tell you how different it is.
Okay. Yeah. So we will talk a little bit about medicine and science in detail. But for now, was there a subject probably that you struggled with in school?
Not really. There was nothing as such. But I would say to some extent Hindi maybe. Because, I think now there is a lot of emphasis by the government on promoting Hindi in schooling. But back during our days, it was done at a much lower scale,
Much lower scale?
Yeah, because we were, my school, St. Xavier's, was affiliated to MBOS. Okay. So it was the MBOS curriculum. And I think MBOS doesn't promote Hindi those days. So it was not there in the board exams.
Right.
So it was not necessary for us to take Hindi. We had to study Hindi only till class 9.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So obviously that was a struggle, a bummer. So when you move up, when you had to, you went to Imphal to study for your medical, right?
Yes.
Do you need a lot of Hindi there?
No Hindi at all. In fact, I think we had to learn a little bit of the local language for our clinical conversation. Other than that, it was all in English. Yeah.
Okay. So talk to us a little bit about, when did medicine first start to feel like, okay, this is the path that, you would like to take and pursue in life?
It's not really, that I didn't have any plans as such to be a doctor when I was a child or during my schooling days. And I think those days it happens that way, that when you are a good student and if you get to take science, either you opt for engineering or medicals. And I guess for me, it followed the same way.
Right.
So I just happened to be in medicine because I happened to qualify for it. So I went for it. It was not really like, I really wanted to be a doctor.
So it was
No,
by chance,
never.
you mean to say? And
Yeah,
you just followed the track that everybody...
Yeah, I mean, I'm being very honest. I think it happens that way for so many of us. But now I think it's a very different. They have things sorted out for themselves at a very young age. They are so much exposed, and I think information is readily available.
Right.
So I think career choices now for children are much more easier, I feel, than what it was for us.
So, it just happened. Okay,
Yeah,
medicine
it just happened. So I happened to qualify. I was there and I got the seat. So I
And
got
you never
into
look
it.
back. So who do you look up to as a child? Somebody like relatable in real life, not like, something that you see in movies or books. Anybody that you look up to in life when you were younger?
When I was younger, yeah, I had a lot of respect for my sister. So I would say that I really idolize her for a lot of things that she had sacrificed for us, and in spite of all these challenges, she pursued what she really wanted to be, and she was doing a lot of things in her own life. So that way, I think I really idolized her.
So what are some of the qualities that your sister, have that, you feel are some of the qualities that you also have in yourself that you've imbibed probably?
So we're siblings, so we are very similar. In fact, I am always happy when somebody tells me that, you look like your sister, you walk like your sister. So, those are common traits that we have in the family. But I think if you were asking that what do I like about her the most, I would say that she tends to be a bit more practical than me, more level-headed than me from quite a young age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then life took you...
And of course, I feel that she's very hardworking. Yeah.
Okay. So these are good qualities, which obviously not only that you've imbibed from her, but this has taken you, like you said, got married in 2009, and that switch probably would have come naturally. It's not because, you got married, so hence you have to change etiquettes, you have to change your behavior. All of this were already there at the back of you.
Somehow. I mean, you were more or less like you knew what how you wanted to be when you were married and when you're unmarried, of course. I think, and if you are a family person, then I think you would have moved in that lines. Yeah.
All right. Then life took you to RIMS Imphal, and then obviously for your medical college, away from the Garo Hills. Talk to us a little bit about the experience there and everything that went down.
In our college, the Regional Institute of Medical Sciences was one of the oldest colleges in the Northeast when it comes to medical studies. And obviously, it was meant for the Northeastern people. So there are a lot of Northeast people. And I think being there, it gave me a complete different perspective on how Northeast and its culture and its people are. And now, being in politics and getting to know about Northeast, I think I can relate to it much easier. And I think my college has a lot to do with it, because being in that place, getting to meet so many people from different cultures and different states, from different tribes, I think it's quite helpful. Yeah.
So what are a few things that people who've not been to a medical college should know and should not know about a medical college? Anything like a secret, if you will, that
there are no
through your
secrets.
experience?
I'm sure all of you knows. All of you know that we have to, in our first year itself, that we had to see a dead human being, and then need to cut it open, and then learn about all the muscles, the nerves. So I think that was something which was not really surprising, but you had to get used to it.
True.
It's not something that you see every day. Other than that, medical studies, I think it's all about books. There are loads and loads of books to read, and it's just unending.
And
And
how-
I think it would be one of the longest professional studies that one can do.
And how many years were you there, Dr. Sangma?
Yeah, so basically it's just 5.5 for all. Like you
Okay.
have the 5-year course and 1-year internship.
Okay, now 5 years is not like a small time
Yeah,
whatsoever.
not at all. I think
Not a
all
small
your time goes in it, because no, if you see normal graduation would take you 3
Correct.
years, and then so by the time we finish our graduation, our batchmates were already doing their post graduation.
So now, do you know more of Imphal, or you know more of of Meghalaya or Shillong? What do you know more of
Like in terms of
in
the
terms
place?
of the place? Yeah.
No, now I have been in Shillong for a long time, so I think I know more of Meghalaya. And of course, being in politics, you
Yeah.
get exposed a lot. All thanks to my husband, he has given me a different scope in life.
So I want to dwell in those 5 years, because like you said, when we expose ourselves to a different environment, when we're there with people from different places, be it from India or abroad, we kind of broaden our horizon, and it does shape our outlook towards life. For you, you got to see what the Northeast is all about, because you met all these people from different states as well.
Yes.
Beyond that, personally, when in retrospect, when you look back at those days, what are some of the takeaways for you, apart from getting to know people, apart from knowing states through these individuals? What are some of the few takeaways for you personally, Dr. Sangma?
I think when you're doing your graduation, I think that's the time when you are building up your character. I think it's not only meant for me. I think it's meant for everybody, because you're just entering adulthood,
Right.
and I think you're just leaving behind your teenage years. So I guess you got to tell yourself that you need to be more focused in life, and what you're going to do in life, I think you have to sort it out. I think that's it. And being in RIMS, for me, I mean, I just came out, and then right at that time when I was in college, that's when I met Conrad. So obviously, he had much bigger things to do in life from a very young age.
True.
Not, I wouldn't say that he thought about it from the politics in that from that young age, but more or less he had in mind what he wanted to do. And then getting to know him, it also felt like it was like a natural calling for me to support him in what he wanted to do. So I just followed that.
Nice. So post college, how many years did you practice medicine?
I was there for hardly 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
I didn't get to join government service, obviously, because Conrad was my husband then, and then he didn't want me to be in the government service, because he knew that we would get our postings in the rural areas, and he thought that managing both family and
Would be
life
difficult.
would be difficult. Yeah. And obviously, he knew that being in politics, my transfer place would not be guaranteed. My place of posting would not be guaranteed. I think those things played a role. Yeah, but nonetheless, he never even for once restricted me on not practicing. He always encouraged me to do what I wanted to do. Yeah.
So obviously, eventually you had to step back from medicine.
Yeah, from active practice.
From active
yeah.
medicine. But what do you miss most about the profession? 3 years probably is a small time, but still.
Yeah, it's a small time, but nonetheless, I was still pursuing my MD after my first child was born, and that was because I really wanted to do my MD. So I was doing my post graduation, and then I couldn't finish it because of again, life has different plans for you, and then you get to have a lot of other commitments. So my father-in-law passed away right at that time, and I couldn't go back to college. If I really wanted to, I could have, but then I took time, going back. And then my second daughter came around, and then it got delayed that way. So you might plan a lot of things, but sometimes things don't go according to your plans.
But I think that's the beauty of life, the more you
Exactly.
plan. I mean, it depends. from individual
Look
to
at me.
individual.
I have studied medicine. Am I practicing now? No, but I get to be a politician, if you say. So that's how it goes.
And obviously, the follow-up question would be: are you in a happy space? Are you way more happy now, probably, with that switch?
Looking back,
Yeah.
where my friends are and where they are currently posted and how they're working.
You're in a way, way better place.
I wouldn't say better, because it depends on how your definition of better is.
Okay.
Of course, being in politics, we get to live a more stressful life. We are more busy, we are more occupied, and it's very difficult to satisfy people 100%. So it's a lot of things. So for me, but am I content with what I'm doing right now? Of course, I think so. I don't think there's any place that could have been better for me. I think I am where I'm supposed to be, and I'm happy where I am.
Oh, that's good news. So how has
Do you think I would tell you if I was unhappy?
that's what I'm saying, and all this is on record. Of course, you're happy. So, doctor, how has the doctor in you shaped? Since you talk about politics, how has the doctor in you shaped the MLA in you?
It is not really, that I get to see, being the doctor in me, I get to see the governance part. No, I think if you ask most individuals who came out as doctors and if they would relate to politics, I don't think so.
Okay.
But for me, it was a very different environment. You have to understand that I am in very good hands. I have the first training from my husband, who's a seasoned politician. So, that way, I think, that way I don't need to worry about how my political undertakings could have been or what I needed to plan for myself. It was never with this intention that I got into politics. It was more like giving back to people and doing whatever I can to help people. It was with this simple idea. It might sound so simple, but that's the truth.
So, for example, before you go to the assembly, do you guys have both of you, yourself and Mr. Sangma, have this conversation in the morning and talk about issues, and you have that little discussion before you step out of the house?
Yeah, we do sometimes. But being CM, he's very occupied, and then of course he keeps on telling me that if nobody's able to answer, I have to answer, so I have to be abreast with all the questions. So he has to be more prepared than me. So then he leaves home early so that he can check on things.
Right.
That's how it goes. But other than that, for me, since I'm a beginner, I'm just getting to see how it goes in the house, and then of course I tell him if there's something interesting in the questions. So I keep telling him about it, and then we just normal talk. Yeah.
So how did both of you meet? The $1 million question. How did you both meet?
There's no $1 million answer for it. My sister and my brother-in-law, they were the reason we met. Yeah, because now my sister is married to to Conrad's elder brother, so he happened to be dating her, and when I was young, he happened to come to the house.
Okay.
So Conrad used to tag along with him, and they were friends with my brothers.
Right.
So that's how we met.
So when he comes, obviously he wouldn't know you at that point in time.
Not at all. And then, of course, don't think that it was quite very early, because the first time I saw him, I was just in class 6.
So can I ask you, what was the first impression then about him at class 6? No,
I had no feelings at that time.
Then.
But then over the years, we keep seeing each other, and I used to think, and obviously I think he was back then, I think he was doing his graduation in US.
Okay.
So I really, and for a girl in Tura, getting to see somebody who's studying in US, you'd be like, oh wow, what a smart person. So it was just that. So I happened to like him at a very younger age. By the time I finished my school and we were in college, I was in college, we still got to see each other once in a while, rarely. And I think that's how things happened.
So gradually you develop feelings. It's not like when you were in class 6, because you were not at all. Right? So it gradually develops. So when those feelings develop, what was the first impression that you had about Conrad, minus the part that he studied in the US, minus that? What was the
I
first
found him
impression?
very, very smart. I found him very smart. And obviously, I think you know the rules of attraction, how it is. You have to find the person handsome and smart. So it was that. I think, that's what struck me the most.
Right.
Yeah.
So when did you start dating? Like
When I was in
officially?
when I was in my doing my medicals in Regional Institute of Medical Sciences.
Okay.
That's when it happened. Yeah.
And I'm sorry to drag this, but for how long were you guys dating
Oh,
before getting married?
we had a long time for almost 5 years.
Was there a distant relationship in
Yeah,
in
it
all
was
of
a
it?
distant relationship because back then I think phones, we had just the landlines and there were no mobile phones. And I think midway after, when we dated for 2-3 years, and then after that I think the mobile phones came about.
Right.
Yeah, and then he was just back from US, and then I think he was just trying to establish his business here in Shillong.
Correct.
So he was just doing that.
And he was not yet in politics that time?
No, not at all.
Okay.
He was not in politics at all. But I think he was still helping his father in some way or the other, like in the youth organization or somewhere. I think he was there. But politics was never part of our conversation when we were dating.
Okay.
In fact, I didn't even think that, he would be in politics.
So, now you're here, so I can ask you this question, because what we see Mr. Sangma is this very composed individual, in the assembly, probably at the secretariat, this composed person. But obviously behind closed doors, within four walls, whether at the house in Tura, whether here, or whether probably in New Delhi, I'm sure he must be a totally, totally different person. Who is he on a normal, let's say, Saturday evening or easy Sunday morning?
He's a normal person. I'm telling you, there's nothing extraordinary or very different about him. It's just that he gets bored too easily. And that's the reason why sometimes he's a complete workaholic. He likes to work, and he likes to, of course, about his music skills.
Yeah.
He likes to play the guitar. And other than that, of course, I think he's a very devoted husband. A very good friend of mine. We like talking to each other a lot, and we can just spend some, we can initially spend, of course, now we have our own ways going, but we can spend hours and hours talking to each other and just spend the whole day. And then, of course, he's a very doting father to my children.
Why does he get bored so easily?
I guess he likes to do things. His mind needs to be occupied. So if he has an evening free in the house, of course, now he struggles for it. Now he doesn't have free times, not at all, because if he has free times, then he does find something to do. So, but he just likes to work.
Right. So he's a workaholic, like you said.
He's a workaholic.
And he loves his music.
Yeah.
So, before I move on to ask you another question is, lately on social media, you both went to Maura, right? So, right, we saw that the awe moment that Mr. Sangma had posted on Instagram, and, just the two of you on the boat and all of that. That aside, one date or maybe one dinner that you can recall right now that is memorable, that you would always remember and never forget it?
A lot of memories. In fact, it would be so difficult for me to sum up as one. But I would, say a very recent incident where it was on his birthday, and we went for dinner, and it happened to be like a 12-course menu, and he was like, it was like my birthday gift for him.
Nice.
So because we both like to eat.
And where's this? Where did you guys go?
I cannot disclose the place.
Okay.
I wouldn't like to, but it was like a 12-course menu. And by the time we were on our sixth, he was so bored, and he was like, I think it's done. Let's go. He just couldn't have the patience he didn't have the patience to wait for it anymore.
But why?
He just likes to. Okay, I think I didn't mention it, but he's just somebody who likes to eat very fast.
Okay.
Usually when it's he loves food, he's a foodie, but he just eats fast. That's his way. That's his style. So I don't think I think I made a mistake by taking him for the 12-course menu.
I know. So, but when you're home, do you cook yourself? If you get the time, obviously, from the busy schedule.
No, I like to cook. I do it a lot, and then I think I wouldn't say I'm good at it, but that's what I like.
Okay.
I like to cook and bake, And I cook whenever I get the time, but now lately I have been not having the time. And obviously, you know that I have a young one now,
Yes,
so
yes.
I want to devote more time to him.
How young is he now?
He's 1 year, 3 months.
1 year, 3 months.
Yeah.
What's his name? William.
His name is William.
Nice. So, Dr. Sangma, the Sangma name here carries a lot of history in Meghalaya. That's one, without a shadow of a doubt. How did you find your own footing alongside all of that? His father was into politics, and then the entire family. So there's a history there. How did you, was that daunting, if at all?
Well, if you go down to Tura, every third person is a Sangma. So that's no big deal. What's most important for us is a clan, like how it is for you all here. So, back home in Tura, there's no significance of the word Sangma because every third person, as I said, is a Sangma or a Marang. But when you go to Delhi, it's completely different thing. People know PA Sangma so well. And they actually, I get it a lot. And I happen to come from the family. I'm somebody from the family. But I still get it a lot, saying that, are you related to PA Sangma? So that is something I think it has given the Karos the name.
Yeah.
The name in Delhi, where I think any tribal would not have been felt so far. So I think my father-in-law had given that, have taken that surname to a completely different level.
Okay. So was it difficult or easy for you to kind of blend in with the family?
No, it was obviously easy because we come from the same background and we come from the same culture.
Okay.
But yeah, of course, they had a much privileged life because my father-in-law was in politics for a much longer time. And then, of course, they were all schooled in Delhi.
Okay.
So, of course, they had seen a better life than me.
So let's come to your children because they have these two girls.
Yeah,
and,
2 girls and
William.
1 boy.
Yeah. So let's talk about, let's start with Amara. Okay. How old is she? And, something about her that we should know.
My kids are normal, they're not some people who are have some talent or some ability at a very young age. Nothing like that. They're just normal. They're just normally growing up. And I think what me and Conrad, we are doing is we just want to support them as how much we can and be a good parents to them where they have happy memories for life. I think that's what our focus is on.
And then there's Caitlin.
And this Caitlin, yeah. Amara happens to be, of course, as a personality, I think Amara, I would say, is more on the quieter side.
Okay.
But when she talks, then she talks like the father. So you can imagine how she talks. But my second one is completely happy-go-lucky. She is very happy all the time. And she is, she looks a bit like me on physically. I think she resembles me. But she's more like the father. She's can mingle with anybody, anytime. And she's just going about her own ways all the time.
True. So after these 2 beautiful girls and then William came along.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question because like I told you earlier, my mom after 4 boys was hoping please God, give me a
Give a
daughter.
girl.
So when my sister was born, my mom had this different perspective towards life. So she kind of liked softer things. Pastels, flowers and all of that. So with the 2 girls, after the 2 girls, and then we have William. Did you see any change in you or anything happen?
Of course. I think one thing is I was so tired of buying dolls, so I was happy to buy cars.
There you go.
And of course, shopping went easier from dresses to more like pants.
True.
So yeah, it's different. And I would say raising boys and girls are completely different. I'm getting to see that with my son. I think, of course, my son is too young now, but I can see that he's way more energetic, way more demanding, and I think he is a mixture of both the daughters. Caitlin used to be always smiling when she was very young, from a very young age, and Amara happens to talk very less. So I can see that William is half the time wailing at the same time smiling. So he's a mixture of both.
So how do you manage your time with all of this? The younger one is here, obviously the youngest.
I am totally burnt out.
Totally burnt out. That's what I'm saying. How do you manage all of this? Tell at least mothers watching this right now. How do you juggle things?
It's the same. Just as how they are struggling, I struggle. It's the same for all women. And I think you men should take care of it more.
You man. Okay.
No, but honestly, on an honest note, it's the same. What everybody is going through, but what every woman, what every mother has to go through, I go through it the same way. Raising kids is not easy, and I think it would do us really good sometimes when we have a lot of support.
True.
And of course, for us in our community, we have a lot of support around, and I'm happy about it. Yeah.
And, Doctor, we're talking about, being mothers. And when we look at society, not just ours, but even society beyond all of this, there are single mothers everywhere. And the burden must be way more heavier
Yes,
on them
I'm
as
sure.
well.
It
But then
must be.
there are certain, there is help from the government,
Yeah.
as well, to support all of them. So when single mothers like that go through all of this, how do you feel?
It's very unfortunate that actually a woman has to bear it all alone.
Yeah.
And if I think as a society and a church, a religion has to play a lot of role, where we need to inculcate the habits of a good family bonding.
Yes.
And having complete family values in each individual, so that they're there for the children. I think a lot of mothers, if you see here, look at here in Khasi Hills today, you would see a lot of rising teenage pregnancies, rising single mothers. You see it all around here. In fact, if you ask me honestly, most of my domestic staff in my housemates,
This is the same story.
it's the same. And literally, I've taken them in because I really wanted them to have to give them the support, and there was no other reason. So and I feel that we need to look at it from a different angle and say that this is a rising problem in the society,
Right.
and maybe the church can play a role in it, and if we can do something about it, I think it would be good.
You're right.
Because I think ultimately it's not only about the mother. A child deserves to have both parents at hand.
Wow. So with both of you being in public figures, how do you keep things grounded and relatable for the kids growing at home?
We are not an extraordinary family. We go through the same things like how a normal family does, and it's the same for us. It's the normal days for us. We just we try to spend some, quality time with the children whenever we can, and we just take them for outings. We go on holidays together, and make sure we see them and talk to them whenever we can. I think it's the same for, and I think that is what is important, that you're spending quality time with the children and giving them, because see, this generation is very different. They're living a very different life. They have easy access to information.
Yeah.
Their schools are getting very different. Their peer groups are relating in a very different way. So it's a different generation altogether. And I think when you look at them, you need to understand from what perspective they're coming, and if you can relate to them and talk to them and just ensure that they have the comfort and the support that they need, I think it would help them a lot.
And I would imagine you're a millennial and the kids are Gen Zs.
Yeah,
So
correct.
how do you both blend? I mean, do you adapt to their kind of, let's say, lingo and how they do things?
I don't, and that's what half the time I have to keep on asking my my teenage daughter how it is, and then she keeps on telling me about it, and I can see that she's half the time hooked onto her phone, and it's so difficult to sometimes just see her doing that, and but I guess that's how they are. Like, I'll tell you one incident. Like my second daughter, she was 6 at that time, and then one day she came up to me. I mean, she doesn't have access to phone. We don't give her phone, but one day she came up to me and she
How
told
old
me,
is she now?
She's 9, about to be 9.
So she has no
9
access
now.
to the phone yet?
Yeah, no access to the
Okay.
phone. She's going to be 9 now. And when she was 6, she came up to me and she told me that, "Mommy, when I grow up, I'm going to have a makeup routine." And then I was
Wow.
like, "Really? Wow, what is a makeup routine? I was like, and then I realized that they get to see all this on the phones because, if you see how the young girls are these days, they're so much into beauty. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's just the way how it is, how the world is right now. When the market is all flooded with all the
Correct.
beauty products, that's what they get advertised for. And then I was just wondering what to tell her, whether she should, whether she actually is a good thing or a bad thing. So, those are simple things which you sometimes it takes you a moment to judge.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what did you tell her
like
then?
that.
What did you tell her? How to draw the line?
Yeah. So that's what the funny part is. I told her that I don't have a makeup routine. You don't need one. I mean, like, it sounds a little stupid, but yeah. So, but I guess for her to relate to it and understand it at a very young age, I think if you see everybody on the streets now, you see that they're all well dressed. They're groomed themselves very well, and I think it's good. I mean, there's nothing bad about it. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you all spend a nice Sunday together when you're all together, Mr. Sangma, yourself and the kids?
Yeah, typical Sunday for us is like a lunch together, having a lunch together, and then we go for an outing. And in the evenings, we make sure that we have a movie together with the kids.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what our Sundays are.
Nice.
That's
So
what it
the last vacation that you took together as a family, where did you guys go?
I think no. In fact, I think the last one was last year when we were there in I think London for some time.
Okay.
And that time my son was just like 6 months, and we haven't gone recently because of the ban. Yeah.
So is there a family tradition that matters a lot to you right now? For us, it's always been leave across Christmas, leave across New Year's. For us, it's always birthdays, and we hype it so much. Like everyone's birthday, we'd hype like 2 months in advance. So what's yours?
Oh, I think our typical family tradition is Christmas together. Since we're all here, there, and I'm always out. Like, I'm in Delhi, I'm in Shillong, and not much in Tura. So I ensure that we spend our Christmas in Tura. I think that's one family tradition that we are trying to keep.
Nice. Yeah. So, Dr. Sangma, let's move a little bit from family and the kids to politics. I remember I was reporting from Tura when Saleng Sangma won the election that year. Why did you decide to contest from Gambagre constituency? Let's start with that question.
It was not my decision. I didn't want to contest. I thought that I knew that I could get into politics at one point. I mean, I had that in the back of my mind.
Right.
But that was not the time. And when the by-election came about, I think there were a lot of consensus happening, and they were wanting me to contest. And it was mostly for public demand and people's request that I came in. And when Conrad gave me the go-ahead, I think that's when I was okay to contest. But I wasn't really prepared for it that time.
You weren't?
I wasn't.
So what was holding you back then?
I don't know. I guess all these family responsibilities and the personal duties that I needed to do, I think it was one. And at the same time, my children were very small, so I wanted to give them some more time. And you won't believe it, after I decide, then I realized that I'm expecting my third.
Right. It was around the same time.
So it was around the same time. So it was like a shocker for us, and with no plans. As I said, life don't go according to how you plan it. It just gives you. You just have to accept it. And I guess for me, that's how I have embraced it.
But that's a very bold step, you know what I'm saying? Because you've not jumped into it at all. Of course, Mr. Sangma is in politics himself, but, to jump, knowing that, you still have kids and then you're expecting one.
Yeah, because I was unsure about, if I would be able to give in to the demands that the public life demands of you. And I was unsure if I would be able to juggle it well and have both family and politics together, because I didn't know how it would go.
Right.
And I knowing fully that my husband is already into it, when he is hardly getting to spend any time with us, knowing that he is there full time. So one needed to be on the family side. So I decided it would always be me.
Right.
So
So-
I wanted to be more like a supporting wife. Yeah.
when for every public figure, what you need to do is obviously interact with people from your constituency, the public, because they would be your first point of contact, right? So
Yeah.
with your campaign, how was the experience for the first time? You're stepping out of your comfort zone, meeting real people with real issues. Talk to us a
Yeah.
little bit about the experience during your campaign.
Politics was not very new for me. I had seen it at a very young age, from the time I got married, because that time Conrad was an MLA.
Yeah.
So I got to see it, and in fact, my very first exposure to campaign was when Conrad had stood for his second elections. The first time he stood for elections, he lost, and the second time he stood, that's when I was there for him as well. So I used to go along campaigns those days. And those days I was really new, and then I was just learning it, and just seeing it and getting to see the villages, how they are, getting to see the real, interior life in Garo Hills of Tura people. I think that's when I saw it first. And after that, it was just like being with Conrad all along, and getting to see a part of it, of course, behind the scenes, maybe not on the front, but I had seen it. And then, in fact, in 2023, there was a lot of demand for me to step in and then, take over his old seat of Silsila. So, but then I decided that time that I wouldn't. In fact, Conrad had asked me that if I would like to stand for elections that time. But I had told him that I wouldn't, because the kids are still small.
True.
And then 2 years after that, the by-election happened. 1 year after that, yeah.
So like I said, during the counting, I was there in Tura, and then when I spoke to people, they had a couple of things that's bothering them. There are two things. One is they talk about development. I mean, that would include roads and everything, and they talk about the non-response from the government. When you decided to contest from the Gambagere constituency, at that point in time, what were some of the issues that you witnessed firsthand?
Oh, mine is a rural constituency.
Right.
It is just neighboring Tura, but the place has not been given the due attention that it was supposed to receive. So there are a lot of things to do. And I think when I went in there, and I think that is the reason why people had demanded for me, because they were not seeing me from an individual self. They didn't want me because I was me. They wanted a chief minister's wife, because they thought that they would get the due attention if somebody from the chief minister's family would step in. I think for public, it was more of that look than
I get it.
it was for a personal reason. I don't think so. So that way, I had I had a lot of expectation that was already being projected out of me. So and being a rural constituency, as I said, the place has been neglected for so long, and it didn't get the due attention that it was needing. So there were a lot of things to be done. I mean, it's still there. I mean, those things are still there, and that's the reason why for me to work on now, it's not like I have the magic wand with me that I would
Correct.
be able to solve all the problems in over a year. So it would take me some time to give them back.
This is what I like about about politics, because we can't expect things to happen overnight. I always look at Mr. Sangma when he speaks, to the public, to the press. Whether it's the ILP, whether it's the inclusion of Khasi and Garo language in the 8th schedule, these things don't happen overnight. There's a process,
Not at all. Not at all. Things take time, and issues needs to be addressed the right way. And I think only then it can come. And also it depends a lot on the situation.
True.
On how things go. So it's a lot of factors, a lot of decisions, a lot of factors that play a role.
Right.
So
apart from all the issues that probably Gambagere is facing, and some of the problems that are plaguing them, probably, if I can use the word, what do people from the constituency talk about apart from the issues? What do you think are
Apart
some
from
of
the issues?
Yeah, some of the aspirations. Probably.
no, nothing so far. I think it's all about issues and the basic access in life. Most of the villages still don't have roads. People still struggle to have basic access to healthcare and education. And I think for me as an MLA right now, as a beginner and as a chief minister's wife, I really wanted to just focus on all these basic issues, and just uplifting the standards of life of people there, because I can see that my constituency people are generally very poor. And and one of the reasons is like there is no economic activity happening there. So for me to now just do away with everything, it's not possible. So it needs a bigger plan, a different kind of an approach, and I think that's what I'm looking at.
What's the approach, Dr. Sangma?
So for me, it's not just one thing. As I said, for me right now, I wanted to give them the basics in life, give them proper roads. If I can give them electricity, ensure that all villages are connected, ensure that they have basic access to healthcare. That means the sub-centers and the PHCs are working and functioning very well, and most of and repairing and ensuring that the schools are functioning. I think these are the basic things that I'm looking at.
True.
I'm not going to be
How's the progress going so far then?
Yeah, it's going okay. Yeah. In fact, now I would say that I would be able to, come out with a report card after the end of the term, but not right now, because things are still under process, and it's still, and there are so many other things that I'm pushing, that I'm, trying to do. So I think it's still taking time. Some are still in its inception stage, and but most of the things I'm taking care of. Yeah.
All right, and correct me if I'm wrong. Gambhigre had never elected an NPP candidate before.
Yes.
So what did that win mean for you personally when you won it?
I think right at that time, it was becoming very important for us to win the seat. And it was becoming like a very prestigious kind of a seat. And that is the reason I think why Conrad had wanted me to contest as well. And I'm happy that I've been given this opportunity to, serve the people and take up the issues of the people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you entered the assembly for the first time. Was that in 2024?
Yeah, because that was in 2024 on the autumn session. That's when I entered. Yeah, I missed the budget session because I had just given birth.
Right.
Yeah.
How was that feeling when you entered the assembly? I can tell you the feeling when I entered the assembly first. Obviously, I'm not an MLA, but just as a journalist, it was chaotic for me. I really didn't know what to do. Didn't understand the rules and regulations.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So we were all over the place. What was your experience?
It was the same for me. In fact, when I got to first enter it, and then of course I felt very honored and privileged, because there was like in the 30 million population, we have like only 60 people sitting there. So obviously you have that privilege. So I felt very proud to be there. But at the same time, I was just wanting to know how the house functions.
True.
As there were a lot of rules involved. So, I think the first time around, I was just trying to figure out what was happening, how...
Anything that surprised you then?
Not really, but I think I would say that our house is quite well behaved.
As compared to what we see on national television?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
That's for sure. So how have you, found your footing and adjust yourself in such an environment? Because it's obviously a new environment. After every discussion session, you would step out, probably meet and socialize over tea or coffee. How have you, mingled?
Yeah, it was normal. I mean, at least it was lucky for me that I'm not the lone woman legislator there. We have 3 more other legislators, so it was quite okay. And then, of course, we knew our own party men. I mean, NPP is the majority there, so we had a lot of friends to say hi to at least.
Right.
Yeah.
So right now we're talking about, we have very less women, speaking about women in politics, very less. Yourself, Mary Santashila, and then we have Miyani, and then we have Kong Amperin.
Yes.
Just 4.
Just 4, yeah.
Just 4. What are your thoughts? Of course we need more women, but I want to hear it from you.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why we are coming up with a women's reservation. And I think
30%.
Do you
think that's enough?
For the whole of course, okay. I think it's enough. Of course, the equal representation would have been 50, but believe me, men will not allow that.
It will never happen.
But keeping all that aside, I think it would do really good. because it is always proven that women, when they are given a chance to lead, I think they lead better. That deliverance is more, and they do make a difference in the society. I think it would be only appropriate if the reservation goes through. And of course, when it happens in the center, then the state would follow naturally.
So, what is stopping women from entering politics in general?
It's very overwhelming. It's not an easy job. It's very demanding, and I think for our society, it's still happening in that way, because there are a lot of public relations that you had to do. And especially when it comes to the regional politics here in Meghalaya, you would see that for us, it's all based on personal relationships.
Okay.
Like when you go to a constituency, you have to meet your electorates, you have to speak to them, and it's all like, because the population is on the lower scale, so it's like all one-to-one connect. So a lot of time it's always individual based, and that is the reason why you would see that we never go on along the lines of the party. Our voting pattern is such that we always see the individual, and if we like the individual, if he comes from an independent party, then the independents win. So you can see it in the way people elect the electorates. I mean, elect the legislators. You can see that this pattern is still there. But I guess now people are getting more aware that if party is leading the governance, then I think the more stability comes in. I think people are getting to relate to that now.
Okay. So do you think when we talk about, you're talking about elections and how people elect their representatives, do people look at the party first, or do they look at the candidate? I just want to hear it from you.
So exactly, that's what I was actually trying to tell you here, that, in our society, in our kind of politics, where population is slightly on the lower side, people still tend to look at the individual. And if they, a leader is always judged not on the basis of what he is trying to project, his ideas, but more on like if the person is approachable, how his dealings are with people, if his PR is good. I think we still look at all these minor details, and which is good. But I think there are other things to be looked at also. And if we can't also, give if the parties, the what do you call it, the political parties, like if the political parties can come and say that this is the vision that we have, this is how we want to deliver to people, this is what are the works that we want to do. So if they can have that kind of an approach, I think people would tend to judge it differently. But right now, it's all very personal for us.
Yeah.
I mean, the thinking is still very small.
How do we change that thinking?
Generation. I think if we see that our education improves and the literacy goes up and people are better educated, then I think that would come about.
Very important, yeah. So how has being a doctor changed how you see work of the government, How has it changed?
I would say that it has helped me to understand healthcare, governance in healthcare better. Of course, that is one, because that is what my background is. But other than that, if you tell me that if I know finances, then yeah, obviously it would be difficult for me to understand it. But yeah, I can relate to it. But of course, when it comes to healthcare, then yeah, I can relate to it easily more than others.
Your
this is what
zone,
my background is.
But apart from healthcare, any other sector that you're close, that you're inclined towards?
Apart from healthcare,
yes.
Yeah, I mean there are a lot of things. Education is one. Then I think departments like for us, we are more like an agrarian society, an economy. So I think agriculture is one department where I think plays a very important role for our economy here.
So what's the hope, Dr. Sangma, for Gambegre in the years to come, as long as you're leading them? What's the hope?
That I would be able to deliver what people expect of me, and that I would be able to make a difference in their lives there. In general, I think that is what I would like to tell myself repeatedly.
So before we move on to, getting to know a little bit more about yourself, 2028 is not far away with the elections, right?
Correct.
Whether it's in the entire Meghalaya. How do you see the prospects of the NPP?
Well, I'm not trying to brag here, but if you see the quantum of works that the government has done for the last 4-5 years, I think it all speaks. And I know there are so many areas where we still need to work on, but if you look at it, if people can still give us the chance, then the stability would come in, and what is flowing in the state right now, it would continue. And it is very, very essential for any government to function properly to have a stability. Because that's when what you have planned will not be achieved in just 5 years of planning, but it takes time for all those plannings and ideas to show into results.
Very well put. So I want to set all the titles aside, MLA, the doctor, the mother aside. Tell us a little bit, something that people often get wrong or misunderstood about what Dr. Mehtab Chandee, Sangma is all about. Something that, is not you at all.
Nothing, I don't think so. And I don't know, I actually haven't got a lot of personal feedbacks because I don't think I'm a celebrity or a personality.
I like the way you put that.
You would get that from a personality or a celebrity, but I'm not. I'm just an ordinary individual doing ordinary work. So I think that is it.
Okay. So if there's something you're passionate about, and nothing to do with medicine or politics, because we've been spoken for nearly an hour now. We still don't know what are your hobbies, what else are you interested in doing apart from, medicine and politics?
There are very little things that I like to do. Of course, one is because I don't get a time. And obviously because half my life is occupied with doing so many things associated with my husband. So, I like to cook, I like to bake and do normal things. I like gardening. I mean, these are a few things which I really like to do. Yeah.
But when you're in New Delhi with the kids, what do you like to do?
I just try to give them time, ensure that I'm involved in their day-to-day lives. And be it like dropping them to school, picking them up from school and getting to hear their school stories. I guess, it's important that I know all those aspects in their life because I need to ensure that I'm there for them when they need me the most. So that's it. I mean, that's like a part of a normal motherhood.
So when you say you're not a celebrity, you're just like a normal person, I'm sure a lot of people would like to know, where do you shop, by the way?
Now, since I stay in Delhi, I shop in Delhi. But, before when I was in Shillong, then obviously, the Shillong place where the shopping place is PB.
I hope to see it PB one day.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'll bump into you. Don't worry.
All right, Dr. Sangma, let's move on to the next segment. We call this the rapid fire segment, just to lighten up the conversation a little. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right.
Do I have to choose both or one?
Just one, please.
Okay.
Okay. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Mountains or ocean?
Mountains.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Window seat or the aisle?
Window seat for sure.
Morning person or night person?
Morning.
You said you love cooking. Your favorite comfort food?
Soup.
A book you'd recommend to anyone?
I haven't read a lot of books, but I would say The Promised Land by Barack Obama.
Okay. A movie you could watch again and again?
I think if you say for the general one, I would say Shrek.
Okay. A song that always lifts your mood?
Celine Dion, I'm Alive.
Okay. Is she also your favorite artist?
Yeah, kind of.
I
like Shania Twain more.
Shania Twain more. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're more into country.
Yeah.
Okay. One word for Tura.
Home.
One word for Gambigre.
Work.
One word for Meghalaya.
Nature at its best.
One word for the man himself, Mr. Conrad Sangma.
My rock.
Nice. One word your children would use to describe you.
I'm the bad cop always, but but they call me mom. Yeah.
Okay. If you weren't a doctor or a politician, what would you have loved to be?
Teacher.
Okay. What's your idea of a perfect Saturday, Dr. Sangma?
I really like decluttering the house.
Okay.
Yeah, decluttering the house and then having friends over in the evening.
All right.
I think that would be like a perfect Saturday for me.
A place in Meghalaya everyone should visit at least once.
I think Molinong.
If your life were a film, what genre would it be?
I don't think it could be sci-fi so I like sci-fis, but you can go with drama.
Okay. And finally, a superpower you'd love to have just for fun.
Oh my God. Okay. Now, if you ask that to a woman, I'm sure they would say time. If I can reverse back time.
All right. Dr. Sangma, what does success mean to you today, now, as we speak, as compared to, let's say, 10, 20 years ago? What does success mean to you right now?
You know, there are a lot of ways to define success. It's, for me, I don't think it's really about how much you have achieved in life in terms of like your career or maybe in terms of your financial position. But I would say that true success would come only when you are happy and content in your life and you are doing the best that you can.
Okay.
I think that's what success would
means
be
to you.
for me. Yeah.
And finally, before we wrap up the podcast, what do you hope people remember about you, beyond titles?
As a person, I just hope that I don't have a bad memory in anyone's mind, and they just remember me for who I am, just my authentic self. I don't have any pretensions. I'm not a very superficial person. I don't know how to impress people. I think, well, that is what is that's how I am. This is my normal self.
Well, that's what at least you are to me. No pretense, just
No,
yourself.
not at all. And I hate people who are very superficial and so pretentious.
Right.
I just can't go about street talking all the time.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Dr.
It is what
Sangma,
it
it's
is.
an absolute joy to have you on the podcast.
Thank you so
much
much.
for being yourself. No pretense, like
Not at all.
like you said. I wish you the best of luck. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so much.
everything.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you so much. Yeah.